My name is Kuttan. I'm actually co-founder of a startup based out of Bangalore called Weavedin. I'm trained as an engineer. I did my undergrad in India. Then I moved to US to do my postgrad. So I did a kind of a dual degree. I went to University of Maryland. We have an option to both study at the B school and also the engineering school. So I kind of took advantage of that part. So I did a postgrad in electronics and communication, and also I did a postgrad in venture practicum. So it's more like something like kind of make you think like a VC. So we work with VCs like internship, work with them, talk with them, develop the pipeline, things like that. So it was an interesting take.
Yeah.
Then after that, I moved around. I was with a startup in Maryland for around 6 months. It was actually into mobile apps. It didn't work out. Then I moved to Valley. I worked with a bunch of big companies. Then later on, I tried to do my own startup over there. It was actually a location-based park finder. So ideas actually cities like New York or San Francisco, finding a roadside park is actually kind of impossible. So we so ideas actually kind of bring a location-based system mobile app with a karma points on top of that. We did an MVP. We had some initial investors kind of interested in to save seed money, but the team didn't work out. So I was like, I was also doing it part time, so I cannot blame themselves. So I was like, if I gonna do it something, I gonna do it full time. So that's why I turned that to Bengaluru. We started around 9 months back, 5-member company right now. We are actually kind of building a software for the retail. The idea of Weavedin is actually kind of redefine the software stack, kind of bring the online and offline world into one single package. So so if you look at the current software used by players, most of them actually got an offline part and the online part. None of them actually have a end-to-end synchronization, end-to-end, like one single stack actually can own the whole part. So that's where actually we are coming. We are actually building the software too. So we have. So let's say if you go to Amazon per se, actually based on your browsing pattern, things like that, it could suggest these are things you should check out. So these are the popular things based on things you already added to your cart. But if you look at the comparison in the brick and mortar store, there is nothing if you go to an associate, I like this particular shirt. What do you suggest with that? He have no idea. So we actually kind of learning the stuff from the online store and bringing the intelligence to the offline world. So that's the kind of solution we are building. Right now we are actually focusing mostly in India, but we just hired a guy in Singapore for business development. So at least for next 1 to 2 years, we are actually looking at Singapore, Middle East, and India. Right now all our clients are based in India. But mostly in next 3 months at least we hopefully have one client in Singapore. It's very new in India. To be frank, even there is not even a good cloud-based a solution in Indian market. So it's very new in India. So that it comes with some problems. So the customers are not actually well thought out in that in taking advantage of all the system. So we need to actually first we need to educate these guys. These are the advantage of system. So that's actually being an early adopter for something different is actually kind of tricky thing in India. So but if you look at world, there are bunch of comparison. Light speed should be a light speed retail is actually a good comparison. Rebel system is actually a good comparison. They are actually based out of San Francisco. Light speed actually I think is based out of Montreal.
Okay.
So they're like bunch of comparison. But I think when we have our end-to-end system, I don't think anyone's actually doing something like that.
Okay.
So that's that. But we are not there. So yeah. So I think that point we'll have a different. We'll have a definite advantage. Oh, Bangalore is fantastic. I've been to. Compared to most of the other cities, I've been to Delhi in terms of when I've been to I'm talking about ecosystem. I've been to meetups and stuff like Delhi. I've been to Hyderabad. I've not actually been to any startup in Mumbai, but I think Pune is actually one good vibrant ecosystem. But if you compare with all those guys, actually Bangalore is always the software hub. So last 10-15 years there's a lot of good talent working out of Bangalore. So in terms of hiring good people, Bangalore is the place to go. And also things like NASCOM, iSpirit, they actually done a good job in terms of having round tables and having conversation around startups. Like every week we'll have things going on. Like I think last week we had a 50-hour hackathon going inside the city. So every week there are things happening, and like a lot of like I said, India is actually a young country. A lot of people actually want to do their own stuff. So most of the people actually move to Bangalore per se. So it's a great place for in India. I think it's one of the best places to be. I think out of let's say 4 to 5 incubators, I think maybe 1 or 2 are actually worth giving a shot. The rest are just in a way, it's incubators are more like startups. If there's a successful startup in like Airbnb, they're like n number replicas, right? So that most of them are actually are just trying to catch up the wave. So yeah, I would say in India there are like bunch of good incubators, but I think in a way we pitched to one of those guys. It's run by Times Group. It's actually one of the biggest group in India in terms of part of the ad network. But they were only looking at the B2C space, so we didn't fit in the frame.